Hi folks, it's Gretchen with Thrifting KY. I'm back with another tutorial that you all asked for to make headbands or turbans out of things you hopefully already have around the house. And I was also inspired by my good friend Dina of the Thrift Reduce podcast. It's a mouthful, but I'll tag her because they had a wonderful episode on why to say no to the free t-shirt and had some repurposing ideas at the end. And so I really am inspired by that as well. And my second inspiration is that I think during quarantine, during this period of the great pause, I find that repurposing things around the house, not buying new, and having a creative outlet is very grounding for me. And so my kids and I, who are 11 and 14, have been scavenging all the old craft storage piles. So for once, it's good that I've hoarded craft supplies and sewing supplies. And we are making new things and pulling things out of cabinets and repurposing. And I would say as a mom, it also reminds me of those early days when I was home with them when they were little bitty, either during maternity leave when I had a newborn and a 2.5-year-old, or when I was working part-time and I was very, very crafty. So it's fun to tap into that, and it's been a good way to stay sane and also scratch that itch that I can't get thrifting, since I no longer have that outlet. I would say that the third thing that has been inspiring me is I've loved the headbands out there for a while, but I'm also thinking of Rosie the Riveter and other iconic images that show women but being practical, but being stylish. And so I've been inspired by that. Also, a lot of pink has been making me very excited. So you may have seen on my Instagram, I was scavenging through my attic upstairs, and which has long needed to be weeded out, and found a tub of things from my childhood that my mom had saved. And one was a dress-up dress that was this gorgeous pink crepe 2-color long gown from the 60s, gorgeous, with this rhinestone collar, this beaded collar, and it unfortunately was stained all up and down it. I am and have never been the size that my mom was in the 60s, so even back in the day, in my 20s, it may not have fit me. It didn't fit me now. Of course, you all would have known I would have worn it for some reason if it had fit now. But I decided to repurpose it. So I made a necklace out of the top of it, and I just got the hankering and thinking that I could make a turban. So I will say that this is the first piece that inspired this turban / headband idea. And this is just this wonderful vintage crepe material. So it has a lot of heft to it. What I did is I just simply started hacking off the bottom of it. Now, for you all to think about what you have around the house. Do you have things like scraps of vintage fabric? This is some great vintage fabric that I have. Do you have an old t-shirt? Again, you see the pink floral theme. It's an old t-shirt that I repurposed a couple times. It has a little stretchy give. So an old t-shirt is very good for this. Anything really that you have laying around the house, things that you don't need anymore, or even material that you have lying around. But I want to, for today, just talk about this one and then the bottom of the t-shirt. So we're going to try out a few things. The first I will show you all is the really quick and dirty way to do this. And I've said before, I think I did it talking about my polymer clay earrings, that I like to just sometimes dive in and have a quick craft that I can get a quick reward from. So this is such a craft. So if you have an old t-shirt lying around the house, something that's bright colored, something that has a good pattern on it, maybe it has a stain, you don't use it too much, or even frankly, I would try this out with a t-shirt that you don't care much about. So what I'm gonna do is start with this, and on the bottom, I'm not being super precise, but I'm gonna do about, I would say, 5 inches in. So you see I've made a little notch, and I'm just gonna cut across. So cutting here. These are not my really nice scissors, so these are just kitchen scissors, just using them. Again, at this time, I feel like we all just need to learn to make do with what we have, so I am adopting that strategy. I am not one that is really rigid about what you have to use. Although, of course, if you have nice sewing scissors, it's gonna make everything easier. So I'm gonna look at this. So this is all still together. If you look at it, it's a big circle. This already could be something that you could just put on. So this is a headband already. I know it looks crazy with my hair. if you have gorgeous long hair. So you could simply take something like this. Now this is a shirt that has some spandex in it. So that's one way you can immediately make a headband. That would be something that would be practical. But what I actually like, and the style that I've been seeing more, are the ones that have this cute little knot in it. So with this one, this is super stretchy. So I'm gonna try it 2 ways first. And a lot of this is trial and error. So it's trying crafts out and seeing if they work or they don't. But this one I could tie just in the middle. So big knot. And you're gonna see that has a nice big knot in it. So obviously right now, this is not big enough to tie around my head, right? But it gives you the sense of this. So there's 2 options you could do. One is for any of you with little girls or little kids around the house, you may have some of these like cheapy headbands that are not so nice. I grabbed these out of my 11-year-old's closet. Not super well made. Of course, if you wanted to buy the materials online, you'd want like a wide one. But for example, I could right now take this and kind of loosely lay it on here. Now again, you'll see I have rough edges here. I'm not really worried at all about the raw edge. Do you see? I'm just kind of playing with this right now. So this one, I can take this, and if you'll see, I'm just sort of playing with it and seeing how it fits here. There is a tag there. I'm gonna just trim that off. It's from the t-shirt. But you can take this and just kind of loosely, look how I'm wrapping it around the edge. Do you see? And loosely notching this around the edge. The goal here is I'm trying to kind of wrap the headband with as much as you can, right? So this is, I should have done the other option first, but I'm just gonna go for this one and we can rewind and do the other option. So I have suddenly taken the bottom of a t-shirt that was just in an old cabinet. I used to make a lot of things for little girls and headbands, so I probably had it in there because I loved the pink and white stripe, but it had just been sitting there for probably 10 years, 8 years. So this one, you already start to see, and I'm gonna shift this up a tiny bit, pardon my filmmaking skills. That already starts to look super cute. Again, pardon my hair, I haven't done anything today but put on sunscreen. So you can see that's already kind of a cute, one of those big headbands, and that's made out of repurposed materials. But one thing I want to show you is, of course, this is not ready yet because sure, I could whip this out, but it's not attached, right? So these edges are all just hanging out there. So I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna do 2 things right now. Okay, so hold tight to that. That is one option. If you have this, and you have it. Actually, I just realized. If I wanted to, I could also cut this, and I could, again, do that big loop there, tie, and I could simply tie it around my head. I'm not gonna cut this because I actually like the one we've made. But I could just tie that, even with that big knot. So that's another option, is you can make just a long strand and tie it here. Again, I like this craft because you can do it really quickly. I did that in 5 minutes, and you'll have something ready to go right away. But like I said, I wanna try to make that cute notch headband. I'm gonna show you how to do that. So let's make our knot again. I kind of fluff it up, right? So, and meanwhile, my hot glue gun is heating up in the back. All right, so this one is that idea. I'm gonna, again, put it on the front. If you see my knot's kind of in the middle, try to make it in the middle. I'll lay it back down here. I'm just kind of looping that edge on the bottom here. Doing the same with this one. And then what I'm gonna do, if you see, I am taking these and I'm kind of putting them as much as I can inward, folding them in, kind of folding them over. Now, if I this may be a little lumpy on my head. This is not a perfect thing, but if you can see, I've kind of folded it in there. What I'm gonna do next is glue this together. So hold tight for just a second. Okay, so now I'm gonna put a tiny spot of the glue. Let me show you. I know it's a little far away, but I'm gonna put some glue, hot glue gun right on here. And I'm just gonna start to attach this. Put another hot glue gun stick in there. I wish this had a longer cord and I could do it a little closer up to you guys, but I'm just gonna start putting this together. And again, you could probably sew this on the edges if you wanted to just do a simple whip stitch and sew it up, but I'm doing, again, the kind of really quick way, trying not to burn myself on camera, because that would be a little embarrassing, but just jinxed myself and I did. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm really just trying to bring this bit of fabric together and overlay it. Do a little bit more here. All right, let me show you what I've done. Now, it looks super messy and not flat, so I may want to, for a future iteration, kind of make this thinner. That is my really imprecise hot glue gun. And I'm gonna keep going on this, but okay. So that's one side, and then I'm gonna do the other side. What you could do at this point is you could trim some of this material. So I'm just gonna trim a little bit of this off because I don't need that thickness at this part. Let me hot glue gun this other one and I'll show you what it starts to look like. Okay. Oops. Hot glue guns are very hot. Be careful. Being liberal with this amount of hot glue gun. You all are getting this really fly by night. Doing this for the first time with you all, but that's the spirit of just go with it. Okay. A little bit more. I'm gonna have to do a little catch up. Fix this up afterwards because it's a little messy. All right. So with hot glue gun, you're gonna come back and maybe retouch some parts, but I'm just starting to get it looped up together right now. Press it together. So this is probably going to be a little thicker on the inside than I'd want. So you guys are getting the raw version here. Again, doesn't look super clean on that inside yet, but I wanted to give you all just an idea. So this is kind of wrapped around. So I'm probably gonna tweak this a bit after we end this tutorial, but that gives you the idea. So there you go. There is a simple headband that you have, turban headband that has used and repurposed that kind of cheapy one. Now, this kind of flattened a little bit. I know you could also add a little bit of padding to there. There are those great padded headbands, but that's a version. Okay, now we're gonna try this one. This is, again, another piece. This is that crepe, so you can do this one. But actually, instead of doing this one, I'm gonna show you what you could do with just some regular fabric. And I'm gonna be adventurous and try, I have a big piece of, I think it was an old skirt that I got for free, and I repurposed it by doing bleach tie-dye. Another great idea that you all can do during this time. So again, I'm gonna cut about 5 inches down, cut this across. I'm gonna try this with denim. Denim may be a little bit harder. but I want to see how this starts to look. So most of us have old jeans hanging around. You may have an old denim shirt. Denim is a really fun fabric too to play with. Okay. The point with these headbands is there's kind of endless possibilities. I have to get this gluing down because it didn't work out exactly as I wanted, but it's okay for now. All right, so this one, again, just a long piece. Similarly, I can kind of fold it over, see, like that, do a loop, roughly get the middle, tie it in a big nice knot. Let's see, fluff it up a bit. Again, you're making that big knot be kind of the centerpiece, so you want that to be nice and big. Now I have this other one. Now, one idea of what you can do is if you have this big headband, and I'm just gonna make this part of the way because it's a little hard to do the hot glue gun while I'm talking to you all. I'm gonna loop this through the hole there. Let's see, do it this way. Huh. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna just loop it through the knot, slide it through, and that kind of attaches it right there. Now what I can do with these sides is I can, again, put those around the edge. Now, this is thick, thick fabric. The reason I've made it really big is I would always rather have more fabric than less. But what I'm probably gonna do is wrap this and then start trimming a bunch more, but I'm gonna glue one side and then the other. I'm not gonna do all of that right here, but I wanna give you a sense of what that one might look like. So this one, again, a cute headband. Let's see. Cut off the ends a bit, but leaving some space that I can wrap it. Cutting that excess fabric. Again, these are really quick headbands to make. Okay, same here. Thanks for bearing with me. That gives us a little closer what it's gonna look like, and I'm just giving you that quick version of what it looks like. You have to use a little imagination with this one. Okay, this one looks a little crazy and a little big, probably too thick. So again, this is trial and error, what you wanna see, what you wanna do. Let's see, let's move it around a bit. But if you all have like gorgeous long hair, you might want a big headband like this. So that's a turban one. That one is a bigger one, right? You can't see it completely because I haven't glued it yet, but that's another idea. All right, last one is this one that I did. And I wanna show you this one because this is that idea again of just tie it together and then wear it right away. Okay. Again, get it about halfway, tie a big knot. This is the one that I used on my Instagram. Okay, this one, let's see. Sometimes the knot, you wanna play with it because that is kind of, to me, that's the rose. So you want that one to look nice. Tie it around. I am just tying this in the back. So this would look best if you have long hair, pardon me, and you can keep that under because obviously with a growing out mullet / pixie, not so good. But there you go with that one. Voila. So you have a couple options. You have taking a long strip, tying it around your head. This is a really good fabric, this crepe, vintage crepe. I don't know that you could really find this, but it has a lot of heft. So it really balances, it keeps that rose up there. This one, denim, would be a little more of a bold view, but I'm gonna keep working on this. So I'm gonna get this Instagram ready for you all to see a picture of it because I really am inspired and challenged by doing a little denim one. So this one, again, could be a little denim headband. And the one that I did with the t-shirt and looped on, that one just a little pink one. Let's see here, get that going. Again, a little one, probably give that to my daughter with long hair. Okay, so that's the quick and dirty headband / turbans. So hopefully you all enjoy that. And again, just use what's around your house, have fun with it, don't get stuck. If it doesn't work the first time, just undo it and try it again. So in the spirit of making do with what we have and being creative, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thanks, and leave the comments below to see if you liked this.